Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekend contemplation and energy report for this weekend. So, for this weekend, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So, what I've done is I've already pulled 8 cards. Our first card is just going to be the overall energy of this weekend. Then, what you're going to get to do is you're going to get to pick pile one, pile two, or pile three. Each pile has its own individual message for you. Now, you can, of course, pick all 3 piles, and the whole reading can be for you. It's whatever feels best to you. But before we get started on that, what I do want to invite you to do is set your intention now. And the intention that we are all setting is that you are to receive the message that is in the highest alignment for you. And we just take a deep breath. And we just say, thank you in advance, Spirit, for helping me to discern which message or messages are going to be best for me. My goal is truth. May your will be done. And again, just another deep breath. And let's go ahead and let's get started. So, like you see here on my beautiful background, we do have a full moon coming up on Sunday. So, our overall energy for this weekend, or our overall frequency, because this card comes from the frequency tarot, is surrender. And when we talk about surrender, we are not saying that we are giving up. What we are doing instead is we are giving over. We are acknowledging that we no longer know what the answer is or even how to get to it, but we are willing to trust that we will be guided towards that answer once we are willing to let go of what we think and what we think we know and really come empty onto the divine to really show us the way forward. Okay. So we can ask ourselves this weekend, where is it that I am not surrendering? Why am I afraid to surrender? Why am I afraid to allow spirit to truly take this from me and heal it for me? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go to this section where you're going to either choose pile number one, pile number two, or pile number three. Okay. So for those of you choosing pile number one, our ascended master that we're going to be working with is the ascended master of faith. And she holds the bonds of humility and benevolence. And her message is stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. Okay. And the frequency is returning to source. So with these 2 cards, what I received from this is Spirit is asking you for pile number one to really come back into your truth, to allow yourself to reconnect with the truth of who you are, because maybe you've been a little bit in a panic. Maybe you've kind of been running here and there and trying to do this and trying to do that and trying to get everything done. And you've forgotten that it's not about you doing. It is about the being. It's about your state of mind as you are going through the task. So Spirit is reminding you first to stay calm, to forgive yourself, and to return to your source, to return to the truth of who you are. Okay? So now we're going to go to pile number two. And pile number two, your ascended master is Commander Ashtar, and he is all about a call to action. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. Now, I really like that last part, walk your talk. If you are someone who talks about the law of attraction, if you're someone who talks about Your vibe attracts your tribe. If you're someone who talks about forgiveness, A Course in Miracles, or whatever it is, make sure that you are walking your walk and talking your talk. This isn't just about you explaining it to other people, because explaining is great. But the best way that people learn is by example. So be that leading example in your life, in your own life. And then our frequency is higher purpose. And so I love these two cards together, because what Spirit is telling us here is it's time for you to take an action step towards your passion, towards that which fills you with joy. And maybe you haven't been doing that because there's been a little bit of fear. And Commander Ashtar is telling you now is the time to act. It doesn't have to be a big, gigantic step. It can simply be a very small step towards that. And that could even be exploring, what is it that does bring me joy? And why not ask yourself that this weekend? What lights me up? What brings me a true sense of fulfillment and timelessness? What step could I take towards experiencing that more in my life? And then we're going to go here to pile 3. And our ascended master is a very powerful one, and it is Kali Ma. Facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So I would say Kali Ma also goes with this surrender card, because what she's here to do is she's here to tell us that which no longer serves you, you must be willing to face and let go. Because when we talk about letting go of things, or even destruction, because she is a goddess of destruction and rebirth. So if we talk about the aspect of destruction, in, we'll say, in tandem with this aspect of release, is about letting go of the value that you have held for a particular idea, belief, situation, relationship, and acknowledging to yourself, this no longer serves me. I am ready to move forward with ease, with grace, and with flow. Okay. And so the vibrations, now she has 2 vibrations with her. The first one is emotional expression. And that's just telling us to be willing to express to ourselves honestly how we've really been feeling. Stop covering it over with pink paint and fondant. It's okay when we feel less than joy. All that means, or less than happiness or contentment, all it really means is it's a sign from your own internal guidance system that you are out of alignment with the truth of who you are. You're out of alignment with source. And that feeling is just indicating that. So it's not bad. Express it. If you're frustrated, okay, I'm frustrated. I can feel that frustration, but I'm not going to stay in that frustration. Okay. And that's what's really key here is we express it in order to release it. So then we can choose a new emotional pathway. Okay. But then we have the labyrinth card in reverse. And it says the reason you haven't been moving forward, or the reason that you haven't let go, is because you are still trying to find this quote unquote right path. And here is something that I have learned along my own journey. There is no right path. There is no wrong path. There is no perfect path. What there is your choice, is your decision on, and it's going to sound very harsh when I say it, and the consequences of those choices. Now, this doesn't mean that, just because you make a quote unquote wrong choice, there is no wrong choice. Everything is always working out for you. Even if it doesn't look like that, it is working out for you. And that's what Spirit is really calling you to this week, is it's time to stop dilly-dallying or kind of being like, well, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Now is the time to do this releasing work, this emotional expression, so that you can really begin to move forward in your own life. Stop looking for the right time or the right path and simply take a step. Doesn't have to be a big one, just like with the higher purpose. Doesn't have to be a big step. It's simply a step, maybe just to acknowledge I'm not happy. And then, okay, well, what does that feel like for me? Where am I feeling that in my body? And would I be willing to release the value that I have to stay here? Because that's something that happens when we start to like not feel good about a situation or feel good about ourselves. We're like, okay, well, I'm just stuck here. You're never stuck. You're never stuck. You never could be stuck. Why could you never be stuck? You are an integral part of life. Life is in a constant unfoldment, which means you are in a constant unfoldment. And the only reason you feel stuck is because you are kind of pulling, where life is moving forward and you're like, oh, no, 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 we're staying right here. You can't stay there. Life will not let you stay there. And you can either do one or two things. You can go with the flow of life and see where it leads you, or you can sit in the space that you're in and just be stuck there. Which one, how's that working out for you if you've chosen to be stuck there? You feel stuck. You feel like nothing's ever changing. Of course, nothing's changing. You're not allowing it to. Now is the time to take that step and allow yourself. Okay. So if we look at this as an overall for the weekend, again, Spirit asking us to surrender, to give over, to return back to our source, and to have faith that all is working out for our highest good. To walk our walk and talk our talk, to take a step towards that which brings us joy and timelessness and fulfillment, to be willing to release and let go of what no longer serves us emotionally so that we can begin to take a step instead of waiting for the right step. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye for now.